In China, they are trying to drill a tunnel in the Cretaceous period, and in Italy, the place where bread was baked was considered a prison. The most ancient fortresses on the planet were found in Russia. In England, we have the skull of a giant ancient monster from the Jurassic period, a forgotten Roman metropolis, and an ancient rice field. Watch this video about these unusual finds and more. Hi friend, you're on the KirTop channel. Ancient rice field. Archaeologists in eastern China's Zhejiang province have discovered an ancient rice field that is approximately 5,500 years old. The discovery was made in the Yuyao County, Ningbo. The total excavation area is about 1,000 square meters. In the field, archaeologists discovered 3 roadsides, ridges, and 9 holes, and also found the remains of rice, weeds, an irrigation and drainage system, and a path that presumably connected the field with a nearby settlement. Experts attribute the find to the late period of the Neolithic culture of Hamidu. They believe this discovery will help to better understand the rice field system of that time and will become important material for studying the history of rice farming in the region. The deepest ancient tunnel. In China, they want to reach Cretaceous rocks that are 140 million years old. The task is ambitious. It is planned to drill through 10 layers of earth and reach a depth of 11,000 meters, which will become a national record. Work started in May of this year. While Russia wants to resume work on the Kola super deep well, China is already drilling in full swing. Let me remind you that the Soviet Kola well project, although it was not completed, made important scientific discoveries and planned to drill the earth to a depth of more than 15,000 meters. Work on the Kola Peninsula began in 1970 and continued for 2 decades. At a depth of 7 kilometers, the team had to face difficulties. Layered rocks got stuck in the equipment. Despite this, the final depth of 12,226 meters was achieved, but the project had to be closed in 1990 due to unknown explosion. Now China is looking to further explore the Earth's interior and plans to use its new borehole to study earthquakes and predict their occurrence. The project also aims to gain a deeper understanding of the internal structure of the Earth and its evolution. This opens up new opportunities for the development of technologies and solutions applicable in different industries. Let's hope that China, having modern technologies, will be able to find something interesting for the world of archaeology. Innovative saddle of the ancient Mongols. A unique saddle with a wooden frame and iron stirrups was found in Mongolia, which may be the oldest in the world. In 2015, Mongolian police confiscated several artifacts, including this saddle, painted black and red, as well as an iron bit, a wooden bow rig, and a mummified remains of a horse. These objects were found in a cave known as the Horseman's Cave, where the bones of a man dressed in sheep and badger skins were also found. According to a recent study using DNA analysis, it was determined that the rider was a man and the animal was a domestic horse. Radiocarbon dating has shown that the saddle was made around 420 AD, making it the oldest known frame saddle. The rigid frame saddle significantly improved the rider's stability when riding, including while standing, freeing up his hands for sword fighting. Roman mosaic in Turkey. In the Turkish province of Mardin, archaeologists discovered a Roman mosaic during an investigation into illegal archaeological excavations. The excavations were carried out in the countryside of the Uzunkai region, in an area known as Kalahanma, Lady's Castle. Archaeologists discovered that the area had suffered significant destruction and numerous illegal excavations, prompting them to more thoroughly explore the area in search of ancient artifacts. Researchers found a mosaic floor belonging to Villa Rustica, a walled village estate that included a central building and ancillary structures. The mosaic, covering approximately 100 square meters, features intricate designs including fish scales, geometric shapes, trees, waterfowl, octopuses, fish, mussels, seals, and aquatic plants. This Roman courtyard contains various architectural remains, including living quarters and a necropolis dating from the 5th to 7th centuries. Unusual lead coffin. In northern Britain, archaeologists have discovered the skeleton of a late Roman aristocrat in a lead coffin, as well as the remains of more than 60 men, women, and children who lived in the region more than 1,000 years ago. The discovery could shed light on one of the key periods in British history, as researchers found representatives from both late Roman and early Saxon times with different burial customs. The discovery was made in Leeds, at a site discovered last year near Garforth. The location of the cemetery is kept secret to protect against looters. The cemetery was discovered last spring near the site where late Roman stone buildings and structures in the Anglo-Saxon style had previously been found. Among the finds in the cemetery were burials containing individual objects such as knives and pottery, indicating early Christian beliefs and Saxon burial customs. Chemical tests can reveal details about the origins and diet of those buried. Once the analyses are completed, the lead coffin is planned to be displayed at Leeds Museum as part of an exhibition on burial customs around the world. Prison bakery. In Pompeii, archaeologists have unearthed an ancient bakery where slaves worked in very harsh conditions. The place also served as a prison, where they, together with donkeys, ground grain for bread in a closed space with small and lattice windows. Workers added grain and controlled the process while the donkey pushed the millstone. Recesses were found in the floor to coordinate the movements of workers and animals. Historical records describe harsh conditions in mills and bakeries. Apuleius, a 2nd century writer, mentioned workers with painful injuries and chains on their legs. The conditions were also harsh for the donkeys, who were forced to walk in circles around the clock, causing them suffering. The bakery was found in the Regio the Ninth area of Pompeii, where a fresco with a flatbread and an electoral inscription had previously been found. This is a testament to the hard work of the ancient mill bakeries. The opening coincides with an upcoming expedition in Pompeii exploring ordinary life in the shadow of Vesuvius. The exhibition highlights those who are often left out of the history books, including the slaves who made up the majority of the population and made significant contributions to the economy and culture of Roman civilization. Ancient 1,000-year-old axes. In the northern part of Poland, in Kochiewo, treasure hunter Dennis Konkol, using a metal detector, discovered an astonishing find: 5 axes from the Bronze Age. These artifacts lay in the ground for more than 3,000 years. It is worth noting that in Poland, independent excavations with a metal detector are prohibited without special permission. Therefore, the discovery was immediately reported to the authorities. These bronze axes, discovered at a depth of 20–30 centimeters, are of particular value, since such finds are rare in this area. Archaeologists have suggested that the axes may be associated with the Baltic culture and are characterized as the Totush type. It is also suggested that the axes could have been part of a ritual offering, which speaks to the complex trade and religious practices of the communities of that time. This find is not only historically valuable, but also reveals new aspects of the cultures that lived in Poland in the Bronze Age. In the near future, the artifacts will be delivered to the Archaeological Museum in Gdansk for more detailed study and preservation. Medieval Curse of the Devil. In Germany, archaeologists made a unique discovery during the construction of the town hall in Rostock. On the site of a former cesspool, next to a 14th century house considered one of the most beautiful in northern Germany, a 15th century tablet with a curse was discovered. The text on the tablet is written in Gothic script, common from the 12th to the 17th centuries. Engraved on it are the words, Sathanas Toki Beelzebub Henrik Berith, addressed to Telekan Henrik. These cursed tablets, created from thin sheets of lead, were popped during the Greco-Roman period. They were used to appeal to gods, spirits of the dead, with requests to influence people or objects. This find in Rostock is especially rare because of the mention of Beelzebub, another name for the devil. Such curses could be used to break off relationships due to the unhappy love, jealousy, or the desire to bring trouble to the people mentioned in the curse. Gloomy burial. In Spain, archaeologists discovered a unique burial about 6,000 years old. 2 massive stone tombs were the burial place of more than 20 men, women, and children. These finds are distinguished by unusual funeral rites. The flesh was removed from the bodies of the deceased immediately after death, and the bones were broken in several places. Scientists found multiple fractures of the hands and traces of cuts on the bones, which indicates the removal of flesh with stone tools. This could have been done to speed up the process of decomposition of the bodies, but the true reasons remain a mystery. It is possible that some bones were used as relics or in funeral rituals involving cannibalism, which also characterizes the Upper Paleolithic in northwestern Europe. the largest Anglo-Saxon cemetery. In Wendover, Buckinghamshire, archaeologists working on the HS2 railway site have discovered a giant Anglo-Saxon cemetery containing rich burials from the 5th and 6th centuries. The cemetery contains 138 graves, including 141 inhumations and 5 cremations, and traces of Neolithic, Bronze, Iron Age, and Roman activity. Many burials contain brooches on the collarbones indicating clothing such as cloaks or peplos. A pair of small square brooches similar to the famous Chesildown brooch were also found. Of particular interest was a woman buried with a large number of valuable items, including a glass bowl of Roman origin, copper ally rings, a silver zoomorphic ring, brooches, and ivory items. Some items may have been imported from abroad, including amber beads and various materials. 2 glass conical goblets, similar to vessels from northern France, were also found. The discovery provides a unique insight into the lifestyle and culture of Anglo-Saxon Britain. New petroglyphs in Colorado. Archaeologists from Poland have discovered ancient indigenous paintings and reliefs on the border of the states of Colorado and Utah in the United States. Working for over a decade, this team have been studying 3,000 years of Pueblo culture. Research is being conducted at the Castle Rock Pueblo complex on the Mesa Verde Plateau. The site is popular among archaeologists and tourists due to the ancient settlements and rock art created by the Pueblo culture. Pueblo agricultural communities developed one of the most advanced pre-Columbian cultures in North America, including the construction of multi-story stone houses and rock art. The team discovered previously unknown galleries and petroglyphs dating back from different historical periods. The oldest of them, depicting warriors and shamans, date back to the 3rd century AD. Most petroglyphs date from the 12th and 13th centuries and include images of shamans, warriors, animals, and hunting scenes. In the 15th to 17th centuries, when the area was inhabited by the Ute tribe, hunting scenes appeared on the panels. In later centuries, images of horses appeared, reflecting the Spanish conquest. Pelonco's explorations led to the discovery of unknown petroglyphs 800 meters above the cliff settlements, which were used for astronomical observations and calendar determinations in the 13th century. England's oldest scientific instrument. Discovered in England, a palm-sized copper quadrant dating back to 1311 was used to tell time. This artifact is 15 years older than Chaucer's famous astrolabe from the British Museum. Researchers point to the rarity of medieval English instruments and their importance for scientific understanding of the era. The device is estimated at $190,000. It is being offered at auction along with valuable books, manuscripts, and a 17th century silver microscope made by Anthony van Leeuwenhoek. Quadrants are believed to have come to Europe from Muslim Spain at the end of the 13th century. In these devices, daytime was divided into 12 hours, the duration of which varied depending on the season and latitude of the place. The first hour began at dawn, noon occurred at the end of the 6th hour, and sunset at the end of the 12th. This made summer hours longer than winter ones. Quadrants were the tools of traders, clergy, and students. It is known that Queen Isabella, wife of Edward II, received several of these devices as a gift in 1358. Quadrant determined the time of day by the altitude of the sun, using a trigonometric formula that was accurate at the equator. Despite the errors, the device was useful not only for determining time, but also for solving mathematical problems related to measuring distances and heights. Unique bronze belt buckle. Czech archaeologists have discovered a bronze belt buckle from the early Middle Ages in South Moravia near Braclav, depicting a snake devouring a frog-like creature. This discovery, dating back to the 8th century, may shed light on the spiritual life of people of the pre-Christian period. Such jewelry was worn by the elite of East Central Europe. It was part of the costume of the Avars, a nomadic people in the Carpathian Basin, as well as neighboring people. Archaeologists found it while excavating a settlement of the early Slavs. The buckle, featuring a snake and a frog-like creature, is part of Germanic, Avar, and Slavic mythology, possibly related to a creation myth of fertility cult. This motif can symbolize the end of a cycle and the beginning of something new. Similar buckles have been found in different parts of Central Europe, indicating their important role in the religious life of the people of that time. Luxurious Roman house. Italian archaeologists near the Colosseum in Rome discovered a unique dwelling from the era of ancient Rome with a rare mosaic of shells, marble, and precious glass. This residence, dating back from the 2nd to 1st centuries BC, has been called a true treasure. The mosaic depicts 3 large ships sailing towards a city decorated with towers and ports. This indicates the owner of the house winning the battle. The main room of the dome is designed as a grotto-style summer banquet hall, contained lead pipes intended to create water games. But the main attraction is the rustic mosaic with shells, Egyptian blue tesserae, precious glass and white marble depicting tridents, warships, and Celtic trumpets. The scene of 3 ships sailing on the sea with sails raised, with the travertine city in the background, may symbolize the military conquest of a high-ranking owner, perhaps a senator. Jurassic underwater monster. On the Jurassic coast of England in Dorset, archaeologists discovered a giant skull of a sea monster. This 2-meter skull belongs to a plesiosaur, a powerful sea predator that lived 150 million years ago. The fossil, one of the best preserved, was found by Steve Etches, a paleontologist from Dorset, who now plans to complete it with the rest of the skeleton. The impressive size of the skull and excellent preservation make it a unique specimen in world paleontology. The skull includes the lower jaw connected to the rest as in a living reptile. Particularly notable are the 130 teeth, long and sharp, with thin ridges on the back, allowing them to be quickly pulled from the flesh of prey. The plesiosaur, with a length of 10-12 meters and 4 powerful limbs flippers, was the most dangerous predator of the Jurassic oceans. Its powerful bite and unique teeth structure made it an ideal killing machine. According to Dr. Andre Rove from the University of Bristol, the plesiosaur could have hunted anything that came its way. Having examined the skull and determined the bite force of the plesiosaur, it turned out that it was twice as powerful as that of the strongest jaws of modern animals, saltwater crocodiles. The presence of specialized glands and the third eye in the plesiosaur also indicates developed sensory organs. The oldest fortresses on the planet. Traditionally, we thought that complex defensive structures only appeared with the development of agriculture, but now everything is different. 10 hunter-gatherer fortifications dating back to 8,000 years have been found in Siberia. These settlements, located on the banks of rivers, were protected by earthen ramparts and wooden palisades. The ancient inhabitants of this area not only hunted and fished, but also created ceramic vessels for storing food. Their ability to create serious fortifications testifies to the incredible complexity of their lives. Many believe that permanent settlements with fortifications arose in agricultural societies, but this find refutes this theory. It turns out that even hunter-gatherers could create complex societies. The presence of abundant resources in the Siberian taiga likely played a key role in the emergence of these settlements. These fortifications may have been used to control and efficiently utilize local resources. Medieval seal matrix. In England, near Norwich, an unusual medieval seal matrix was found thanks to a metal detector. This artifact, supposedly belonging to a monk and dating back from the 13th-14th centuries, demonstrates the peculiarities of the spiritual culture of that time. The seal has a unique inscription: "I beseech you, holy sign of righteousness, be the way." The inscription, according to historians, has no analogues, emphasizing the uniqueness of the find. The 25mm diameter seal features an image of the crowned Virgin Mary with a baby Jesus and a praying monk. Interestingly, there is also the inscription Ave Ma, Hail Mary, on the stage. Such images are typical of the period, but this particular seal stands out for its unique design and rare use of the term Son of Righteousness. A special feature of the matrix is also a sleeve with a serrated edge on the reverse side, which indicates the possibility of a removable handle. The use of a removable handle allowed it to rotate for ease of attachment or removal, making this a particularly significant and unusual find. Forgotten Roman city. In central Italy, archaeologists have uncovered the true appearance of the ancient Roman city of Interamna. Initially considered a small settlement, it turned out to be a metropolis, home to about 2,000 people. Situated between Rome and Naples, this city flourished during the Roman Republic and had the support of Julius Caesar, but was abandoned in the 6th century due to the threat of invasion. Archaeologists from the University of Cambridge, led by Dr. Alessandro Lanaro, have been conducting research here since 2010. 2010. The results shattered stereotypes, showing that Interamnal Arenas was not just a city, but a cultural and commercial center of the region. There were residential buildings, a temple, baths, and an indoor marble theater that could accommodate 1,500 spectators. Research has shown that there was no social division in the city. There were houses of different sizes, courtyard buildings, presumably serving different purposes. It is important that the city was not destroyed by a catastrophe like Pompeii or Herculaneum. People abandoned in the 6th century due to increased uncertainty about the security of the region. This event coincided with the Lombard invasion. Treasure of a Buddhist shrine. In the ancient city of Mohenjo-daro in Pakistan, which is considered part of the ancient Indo-Valley civilization and dates back to approximately 2600 BC, archaeologists discovered a treasure trove of copper coins about 2000 years old. These coins were found among the ruins of a Buddhist shrine and are associated with the era of the Kushan Empire, which dominated from the 2nd century BC until the 3rd century AD. Archaeologist Sheikh Javed Ali-Sindhi explained that the shrine was built on the site of the ruins of Mohenjo-daro approximately 1,500 years after its oblivion. In total, between 1,000 and 1,500 coins were found, some of which depict the Kushan king. This find is especially significant as these are the first artifacts discovered at the sanctuary since 1931. Some of the coins feature the figure and symbols of the Hindu god Shiva, reflecting a combination of Buddhist and Hindu beliefs. Rate this video with a thumbs up or down. In the meantime, I'm preparing for you a huge selection of the most important and unusual discoveries of archaeologists in 2023. Stay tuned and tell your friends about us. Thanks for your views. Bye everyone!